Hello Tubesters, it's Gav and we've got our first update. Yes, we have first update. So I've been uploading some photographs up on the Facebook page for the T34 group build. So this is what I'm building. It will be, on the outward side anyway, fairly extensively modified. Sorry about the shine. I just thought I would go through with you some of the every time. Right, forget that. I'm going to edit that out. I swear some of you guys do that on purpose, you know, I'm making a video. Yeah, it's been going together fairly okay. The tracks I still managed to stuff up by not reading the instructions yet again. I will go into that in a moment. When we get a view down onto the bench, it'll be easier to show you. But I've built the tracks mostly. I've got the two top, the bottom half and top half of the hull together. And that's about it. But I thought it was worthy of documentation. If you just, I don't post them up obviously every day, but some of the guys are putting their photographs up on this Facebook group. Just put in T34 group build and Facebook page, and you'll find it. If not, Greg Reilly will have a link to that page. So join me at the bench, guys, and we'll take a look. Right, guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. This is, I know it's a hull. It's not exactly a load to look at. I just want to go through a few things if you're building this kit. Yes, I know I've still got to clean that off. Did I clean the other one off? Not really, I did a bit. Completely forgot about that side. Right, what did I want to say? Yeah, this back part here, obviously you glue these little bits on. I glued these on off the exhaust pipes and a bit of armour, cast armour, whatever it is on the sides, and you get this little handle, grab handle here. I didn't see the point in changing it. It was quite sturdy to clip off. There's no pins or anything like on a Tamiya kit to give you an absolute 100% attachment point. So you have to really mooch around with this one because it literally, forgive all that was a half-hearted attempt to try sprue glue down there. I'm still going to give it another load, but at the same time it's going to be completely hidden because I'll have some rubber skirts coming down here. So you know, although I'm gonna armour texture this piece here and around other parts of the tank, you're not really going to see it, but I'll do my best. I'll fill that again and on the other side and sand it down. But while it's like this, you can see that's all it does. It just drops into this, you know, the top half fits onto this bottom half here, but it's very, very vague how it fits together, or at least to me it is anyway. So I had to put it down for one night. It was towards the end of the night, and I thought, I'll put the top and bottom together so it can go off overnight. But yeah, I just couldn't get away with either having gaps here, there. It's still not 100%, but it's a lot better than it was. And then I came back to it the next day and had another go. Now, as far as I can see, obviously these bolts would go. I haven't really. I must confess, I will look into it because I like to know these things and also to explain how I'm going to do bits. This appears to be hinges here, so I take it this whole, you can have the inspection hatch here, or this whole rear deck, I presume, on that just pulls forward and hinges down on these flaps here. So I'm not 100% yet if that joins here would be welded, you know, like, or if it's just going to be left like that. I've got to work that one out, so I'll be going on some walk around photographs of T34s. The only reason I haven't, normally I do all the research first, It's just, but I've been razzing ahead with this, just wanting to get a lot of it completed, because there are some other projects I need to be ready to start. There are little things like, I believe that's for the saw blade that all Soviet tanks have. Things like that I will probably put on afterwards. I've got fuel tanks to go on the side here yet. Another cover, as you guys know, over here. So I'm going to armour texture this next, once I've got on the last little bits. There's the machine gun here. I might clip that off the end, because, as I say, a lot of the T34s in Yugoslavia that I saw, I have seen a couple with machine guns, but a lot of them didn't, because I can only speculate they were in some tank park, rotting away more or less, and obviously they would have taken things like machine guns, would have gone into an armoury, and more than likely, a separate one. So when these tanks were pulled out and restarted, there was no machine guns to put in them. That's the only thing I can speculate on. I didn't do it, whether it was me or the kit, probably me. I couldn't get a great fit. There's a gap that goes under this armour piece here, between the top and the bottom. It's meant to be there, and you just slot this over the top. Well, I had a very slight miss. It was wider at one end than at the other, but I've just managed to get it in. There's a very, very slight gap there, which just need a bit of filler in. There is a weld seam already on here. I might make it more yet, I don't know. Probably will do, just to get that very, very, you can't really see it, but there's just a tiny bit there. You can see here on the mud guards, I've not bothered with my Dremel and my routing bit, which I normally would do, because this is actually quite soft plastic. So I've literally just got my scalpel and just gouged bits out, and then just give them a slight sand over just to get any fluffy bits off, because I'm going to retain obviously these. Now I'm basing, and also how to do it, I'm basing it off my T55 AK book. Well, obviously it's a T55 and the driver gets in here, so I've got to look at as many pictures as I can with these rubberized versions, because some were more ad hoc than others. Some had them, like this T55 I'm more or less plagiarising and copying. That was only, and the modeller's taking it off a Serbian T55 that had the same thing, but it was very much well cut and thought out, where I've seen others, like some of the American Hellcats and I believe Shermans, I'm not sure, but Hellcats definitely, and these T34s, I've seen them literally just almost be tying rubber conveyor belt sheets off, just on polypropylene ropes. So we'll see, but it'll obviously take some working out. On the T55, they've actually, the real crew's actually got rubber flaps over the hooks here, so you could still recover the tank. But obviously we've got the driver's compartment there. Now I'm not 100% yet. I was looking at some cheap plastic figures to go in them, even if I've got to convert them a bit. I'm not buying resin at £14 a figure. This kit was only 20 quid, so I'm not going down that road. So I might look at doing some cheap plastic figures. What I don't like with kits is I've seen a lot of manufacturers, they'll have a couple of figures, and they're all, not always, but they'll be at rest on the, like commander and loader, say, will be chatting away, or chatting to, looking at some diorama type scene that they want you to, think of building. But always, well, not always, but the driver, 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10 is normally all buttoned up. There's the hatches down, or especially on a modern tank up here, and I often say to myself, well, if they're all casual at the top, why would surely the driver's not going to want to be buttoned up as well? And bearing in mind this is often a 4. Now whether they carried the extra bow gunner if the gun's not being used on these Yugoslav tanks, I don't know. But what I'm trying to get at is, obviously we've got a complete mock-up interior there. Now I can even now, if I wanted to, cover that up, and I still might drop a piece of plastic card in the back here down just to hide stuff. But I'm still debating. I've got to make the call soon. I either button that up, and if I'm going to button this up, so hatch going down in other words, then the hatches will be closed up on the top. And also, to be honest with you, I've not even gone that far. Talk about planning your build. I've not even looked to see if they've got anything that, like a Tamiya will have, just like a little stand on a pin, won't it, for you can stand a crew figure in or something like that. I don't know if that, I doubt very much this will have it in the turret. So tonight, when I have a look at the turret, I will make the decision then whether I'm going to stick a couple of figures on the top. If I do stick a couple of figures in the turret, then I will have this open and either convert something like I believe there's the odd World War II figure you can have almost sat in the driver's hatch, or my other thought was have the hatch open, but like hang a t-shirt or something that they're drying off in the sun, and have it hanging down so you'd be pushed, to see into the tank. That's my other thought on that. So yeah, that's about it. But yeah, just be careful. It takes a bit of fettling to get this to. An experienced modeller or somebody that's only built one kit would be better than me. But you might have it, straight away. You might get it, completely right. But yeah, it just takes a bit more fettling to get it to sit properly. So that's that. I really thought this one out, haven't I? Hang on a second. I'm really careful with these tracks because they're a bit on the weak side. I'll show you both because there's a complete gaff stuff up on that one as well. Right, we'll go for the better looking one first. I might distract you. These are the tracks. Quite simplified, I suppose. I don't know. I've left obviously that last link off so I can take them off and on. Now that worked really well actually. The problem I've got is not reading the instructions. Again, I'm trying to find it. There's a straight piece here with three already pre-made up, pressed up together links, and they'll give you that angle there. Now the problem is, obviously they've got because you've got a tighter angle on the smaller wheel and obviously a bigger radius on the larger wheel, you're supposed to use one of these pieces has got, I think, 4 links in and one's got 3. Well, Gav went and put 3 links on both sides. And to be honest with you, it worked on that one. I don't know why you needed the 4. So that was that. So when I came to doing this one, which had then 2 lots of 4, as you can see here, I've had a right game. It does work. It's all falling apart here, but it does work. And what I've done with the 4 is on the other end. Let's see without busting it off. What I did was score away where the track links are pre-made. I scored them enough that I could slightly bend them, so it does work. This one's just all fallen apart at this end, but they do glue together quite well. It's just that I was being quite ginger with the glue because I needed to get them on and off the road wheels. I won't get the road wheels out now because they're in the box, but the road wheels, I've done what I did on that Tyron build, but not so heavy. Again, I've not bothered with a Dremel because you do get dust flying everywhere. I just used my trusty scalpel blade and I just troubled some of the rubber tyre away to show some wear, because these were well worn before the late 1980s, early 90s. So yeah, that's what we've got on our T34 build. So as I say, coming up, what I've got to do next, obviously fit the side fuel tanks. I don't think I'll be putting the extra fuel tanks on the back that they use for obviously extended driving. There's like the big breather type of thing on the back here. What else? And a few obviously bits and pieces that's got to go on the front. But apart from that, then it's getting the turret together. And as I say, then I've got to decide. Half of me says put some figures on, only because I'm going to, it's not just going to be an out of the box build in the sense of like, here's a T34, it's green, it was in Berlin or whatever, or in the Sinai with the Egyptians type of thing. It's because it's having all it. The rubber probably won't be on the back, I don't know yet, but it'll definitely be on the sides and a bit on the front. And because I've got all that, and I've got the turret all sandbagged and all that type of stuff, it's already looking more than just the simple T34 Zvezda kit. So I say to myself, because I've given the tank a fair bit of character, do I not just finish that character off with some figures as well? So I don't know. I didn't really want this to take too much time, to be honest with you, but we shall see. It really just depends how they look with the hatch open. As I say, I can drape something over the hatch just to, again, stop too much vision coming in, or I can maybe put a figure, if there's a figure like sitting in the open hatch, maybe, maybe I can do it that way. I don't know. We shall cross that bridge when we come to it, which probably won't be too far away. Oh, and I did obviously gave a bit of bending and that. It's not like obviously it's plastic, it's not like you're doing it on I did think of taking these off. I didn't want to remove them because it's like then you're almost removing them on every tank you do. So, and I've seen them with all these intact, so I left it on. But I did think of, again, it starts getting more complicated then taking it off and using my pop can, bending my pop can a lot and then sticking the pop can replacement back on. But no. Although I'm complicating the build by adding extras, I'm also trying to keep it a bit more simple. More for the time front than anything. I took a lot of time on the Tiger, and there's other things I wanted to do. So it's push on ahead of that. I've got another couple of builds coming up, and I've got a bust I want to start painting as well. So yeah, guys. So as I say, just be aware on the tracks. They give you a pre-made jig on the track sprues. You'll see it anyway. But on the track sprues, they've got like a jig shape at either end of the sprue. You stick both screws. I cut obviously just a section away of the sprue, so you weren't trying to build it on a giant sprue, and it does work. Was it any different than actually draping it over the wheels and doing it in situ on the wheels? I didn't really think so, but I was still grateful that they did that. The only thing I'd say is as well that the wheels are very loose. You just might see bits of blue tack still on there. The wheels are very loose, so when you're building up your tracks, I'd advise putting some blue tack on just to hold the wheels a bit more firmly in place, because they do the usual. The minute you even bodge it, half the wheels fall off. Guys, thanks for following me on yet another video project, another video build, whatever, vlog, waffle. Let's not go as far as a ramble yet, but yeah. So thanks for watching me. Thanks for Greg Reilly for hosting this group build. I did. Yeah, that was it. Now here we go again. Unprepared as usual. I did have a list of people that I know that there's lots more people doing this. It's just that I don't know them on my video channel, so I'm just calling out the guys that I converse with, type of thing. So Greg Reilly's running it. Military modeller Paul is ably assisting him. Joe from Mad Genius Productions is on it. Ian Aitken's on it. He's been painting up some fantastic figures of late. He's doing some extra figures for it. And Rob from Rims Models. Now he showed off as usual. It wouldn't be Rob if he didn't make a full interior kit. And he's doing a full interior T34. So that would be really cracking to see that. He hasn't. I don't think he did the unboxing. He just did the showing what he was going to do. But yeah, so big shout out to Rob. Go and check Rim's models out. Ian Aitken out. Joe from Mad Genius Productions. Military modeler Paul and Greg Reilly, 1/35 scale military models. I can never get that. Oh, one day. So if you are intending to go in the group build and you want to shout, just feel free, drop your comment at the bottom, and I'll obviously next time I do one, I'll write it down and obviously shout you out. Look after yourselves. This is progressing fairly quick, so you'll probably get another video of this in a few days. The Chevy, to say that all it needs is sticking together, because I've been diverted, but it's classic being diverted to this. It is getting done, but I'm doing literally a bit of glue, put it aside. 2 days later, a bit more. So it is stuttering towards the end. It's just taking a bit longer as usual when you start getting diverted. What else have we got? Started a new commission on some 28mm Napoleonics. I've got 3 more or less painted Vietnam figures. They just need a couple of extra bits and pieces done to them, and once I've got all 6 based, I'll give you a show on them, and then I'll do the MVA on those in the background. And I've got another kit coming in. One of the projects I wouldn't mind getting stuck into at some stage. That's supposed to be coming in on Saturday. Bought it second hand, so it wasn't too expensive as these kits go. So anyway, look after yourselves, and we'll see each other very soon on another video.